What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. This time we're going to be discussing the Puma deal that was announced with Manchester City. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll have seen me tweeting about Manchester City signing a new 10-year kit sponsorship and more sponsorships with Puma, who'll be replacing Nike. Now I'm going to be discussing what that means for Manchester City, what it means for everyone in the City Football Group, and draw up some conclusions. So it's just like a little insight into this deal. So the deal, first and foremost, we'll talk money. £650 million over 10 years, 65 million a year. Incredible amounts of money. Now this kit sponsorship isn't just for Manchester City. It's going to be split over several continents. It's going to Australia over in Oceania, so Melbourne FC. I think they've not got Melbourne City yet anymore. They've ditched that. We've also got Spain, so it's going to be going to Girona, Manchester City, obviously, also to Uruguay, and also to our Chinese club that we've just purchased. So there's going to be 5 clubs on this Puma deal. You might be wondering why teams like NAC Breda aren't on it, and New York City Football Club. They're not on it because they've got their own kit sponsorship deals. I imagine once them have run out, they'll either negotiate their own deal, or they might join with the rest of the City Football Group and go in with Puma 2, to which case might be a renewal of the contract, might be more money involved. But this is basically Manchester City's way of earning more money and trying to make more money. So £65 million a year, that's going to be split across the clubs. We've not actually had figures released for how much money each club's going to be making. I imagine the large majority of that sum will be going to Manchester City. We're a Premier League team. It's the biggest brand in world football. We're currently first in the Premier League. When recording this video, we're one of the best teams in the Premier League and one of the best teams in Europe and one of the best teams in the world. A lot of the money will be going to Manchester City, and this sum dwarfs what Manchester City's deal was with Nike. When we first signed with Nike back in 2013, that deal was worth £12 million a year. This is going to be worth not 65 million. I reckon it'll be somewhere close to that, though. I reckon we might be looking at 45, 55 million a year. That's an increase of monstrous proportions. It means that Manchester City now are going to earn a lot of money. Financial fair play shouldn't really be a factor. We're catching up with the times. We're second in a deal in the Premier League only to Manchester United. They're earning, I think, 70 million a year from their deal with Adidas. However, Barcelona, I think, are earning around 120, 130 million pounds from their deal. They've got the highest one in Europe, which is dwarfing ours. But as we build our club, as we look to try over the next 10 years, how long this deal will last, we'll be looking to try and climb the ladder and try and close down them gaps with Barcelona to try and earn more money, basically. Manchester City is a football club, but it's also a business and needs to generate and make money. And when you're on the world stage, week in, week out, and you're playing in the biggest competitions, you're going to want sponsorships, and you're going to want money to match with the rest of the club so you don't stay behind. So we've gone from 12 million up towards 60 million pounds a year. That's a fantastic increase, so fair credit to everyone that was involved in doing that deal. It's great for the other clubs that have joined with Manchester City in having Puma 2. It's great for them. They're going to have more money to invest in their squad. So in particular, this is aimed at Melbourne. They've now got a chance to try and generate more money, to try and sign some better players, to try and increase their stature in Australia, sign some high caliber players and push on with their season to try and win trophies. Because after all, you're in the City Football Group. Manchester City will want all of their football clubs doing well in the football group. Over the next 10 years, Manchester City's already got the success there. I imagine they'll want other clubs doing the same. The Chinese club, I think they're in the third tier of Chinese football. They'll want them in the top tier and playing on the world stage. Man City will want Melbourne City winning trophies. They'll want them to be able to compete for the A-League over in Australia. They want New York City to compete with the MLS. They want NAC Breda and Girona to secure their status in the La Liga for Girona and also the Eredivisie for NAC Breda. So that's where Manchester City are heading. It's a world corporation. It's a world brand. We all kind of wear the same colour. We're wearing the same kit sponsor. Most of the clubs will bear the City name too. So that's where Manchester City are heading with that. For Manchester City, I don't think it'll change too much of our transfer policy. It does mean if we wanted to make big signings, and I'm talking world-class players, so I'm talking not Messi and Ronaldo, we're not going to be signing Messi and Ronaldo, but I'm talking the next calibre down, if they're wanting to invest in the squad, so players like Antoine Griezmann, the next calibre, the players that are competing for the Ballon d'Or, the Kylian Mbappes, the Neymars. If Manchester City wanted to sign these types of players, they could. They'd have the money in place to be able to do that. They're not going to do that. They know that if they pay big money for one player, then they know they're going to have to pay it for every single player that was signed. The transfer fees will inflate, and then this £65 million deal becomes pointless, because then we're going to have to get a bigger sponsorship deal to try and compete with signing players for more expensive prices. So they're going to have to try and keep it on the down low. Manchester City are going to want to keep to the same transfer policy that we've had. So we're looking at 40, 50, even 60, possibly potentially a £70 million signing at some point. I don't see us exceeding that, though. I might be wrong, so do let me know in the comments if you think that we might do, but I don't think so. I don't think I'm wrong there. I think Manchester City will stick with what they're good at, which is trying to haggle and negotiate and want players to force through moves to Manchester City. But it does mean that with profits, we'll be making more money. It means we'll increase our finances. It means that we'll be a more self-sufficient club. We won't be relying on the Sheikh as much with investing money. They'll be able to self-sustain themselves and make their own money and be able to invest that money back into the squad, back into the staff, and back into facilities, which is good. City heading in the right direction, in my opinion. I'll compare this sponsorship deal with some other clubs. Like I said, Man United are earning more money from their sponsorship deals. It means that they can splash a load of money, though. Now, Liverpool and Chelsea, they're lagging behind. They've not got new sponsorship deals recently. They'll be looking for that to try and increase their revenue and try and catch up with the other clubs around them in the top six in the Premier League. What I do sense from this deal, though, is that as the clubs start earning more and more money at the top, it'll leave the teams at the bottom of the Premier League and the mid-table. They'll start going further and further behind. We have seen them making more money, though. The amount of money these clubs generate in the Premier League is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But the gap at the top, I can sense it just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Sponsors don't want just playing on the world stage in the Premier League. They want you competing for trophies. They want you to win things. They want people to take note. And Manchester City have done that. Manchester City wins several trophies over the last few years. We've got one of the best managers in the world with Pep Guardiola. He signed a new contract just last year. We've got other players committing themselves to the club. It's great. We've got players like Vincent Kompany that's already committed to Puma. We've got Sergio Aguero, David Silva. They're wanting Leroy Sané to commit. They want to offer him a new deal. And with it, Manchester City offer him a new deal. So they're wanting to do collaborations with different companies. That's the direction we're heading in. It's great for everyone involved. It really is. I'm hoping that it won't affect ticket prices too much. The way I see it is, if you're earning so much money off sponsors, off television fees and everything else, you don't really need to rinse the fans. So I'm hoping it won't have a negative effect on the fans and to start inflating the prices of season tickets and match day tickets. I don't think that's the way forward. Pricing the fans out, not the way forward. Targeting tourists. Manchester City, we're increasing our global brand, of course. We don't have enough global fans to be able to charge loads of money and force fans to attend games to try and fill empty seats. Let's remember, majority of these empty seats, particularly in league games, are tickets that have already been sold. These are season ticket holders that just simply haven't turned up, or people that can't be bothered turning up, or people that have bought tickets to try and sell them on, and there's not enough demand there to be able to sell them on, so they're not bothered turning up to the game. These tickets are actually sold. A lot of Manchester City's Premier League games do sell out. However, the good thing about Manchester City is if you support Manchester City, you ever wanted to get to a game, most times it's pretty basic and straightforward to be able to get to your game. So for people like me, absolutely fantastic. Pick and choose my games that I can go to and be able to get tickets for a large majority of the games. So it's always a bonus there. And as our brand gets bigger over the next 10 years, that will obviously get more and more difficult. I'm just hoping Manchester City won't inflate the price up to try and match the demand. Don't need to be pricing fans out of attending football matches. Like I said, they're earning that much money. Why? Just try and increase more profits. You end up getting a distance between the club and the fans. You end up getting tourists. You end up getting no atmosphere. You end up getting no passion. You end up getting people that are just going there for a day out and turn up once, then never turn up again. You should be rewarding loyalty. That's a whole different matter, though. But we're making more money. It's great for us. It's great for everyone in the City Football Group. We're on the big global brand now. We're making a lot of money. I don't really think there's anything else to discuss for the video. I'd say that we'll keep an eye on what's going to happen with the kits, obviously. We're heading to China and Japan in pre-season, maybe going somewhere else in Asia too. So I imagine they'll release their kit at some point on that Asian tour. And obviously, wearing the City top right now, you can see it's got the Nike tick. That'll change to the Puma instead. No idea what it's like wearing a Puma kit because I've never worn one. I know for Nike, of personal preference, not the best. The kit designs aren't the best. They're pretty similar, most of their designs. There's no thought that goes into their kits. I don't mind this kit, if I'm honest. I'm hoping, though, that Puma will listen to the club and listen to the fans and be able to design a kit that everyone can be proud of. rather than just putting out the same kit that everyone else has got, which is what a lot of the times Nike does. Very boring and basic, and you're just basically trying to make more money off people that want to buy kits or collect kits, or kids that buy kits season after season after season. That's what we're trying to do. So we're going to end up with Puma instead. I have read some stories about Puma kits, about how tight they are. You might have to go a size up. We'll wait and see about the kits. I don't know what it's like. Arsenal are sponsored, I think, by Puma, so it'll be interesting to see what their fans' thoughts are of Puma. So if there's any Arsenal fans watching, let me know what Puma kit's like, or any fans of any clubs that's had Puma or are currently sponsored by Puma. Just let me know what the kits are like. It can't be worse than Nike, can it? I'm not a real fan of Nike. They rip easy. The material's cheap, and they charge a lot of prices, so it's cheap made, charge a lot of money to try and rinse people, basically. So hopefully, you know, the Puma kits might be a little bit better, but expectations aren't high is what I'll say to that one. So around July, might be announced beforehand, but around July we'll have the kit released, and obviously we'll know what it looks like. There's loads and loads. If you just go on the Blue Moon forum and have a flick through and try and find the one about the Puma deal and the kit, some potential kits that people have designed, there's loads of designs on there. There's some terrible ones on there, and there's some absolutely excellent ones, so go and check that out if you do have some time. But there we go, that's been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed this kind of video, me just talking about one general topic, then do just let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what else I can do. I'm going to have more details, though, of this Puma deal as they come out, so that'll be covered in Manchester City latest news and transfer news, obviously. We've made more money from Puma, so giving us enough money now to give Mangala a new contract. So we'll be discussing that on Manchester City latest news and transfer news this week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If you're interested, make sure you press the red button and subscribe, and make sure you press the bell to put your push notifications on to be notified immediately when I've uploaded, so you can stay in the loop with football and Manchester City news and content. Don't forget, leave a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. My Twitter and Instagram, the links to them are in the description below if you want to go and follow me on that. Any help towards getting more followers on there would be absolutely brilliant. We're aiming for 2,500 subscribers on here, so any help towards that would be brilliant too. And I'll see you all again for the next video, which will be daily. We're going daily now for the next month or so again. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Plenty more content, plenty more videos to come, so I'll see you then. So it's been JSGC. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.